Black Ops has finally come back around, and for the first time since 2018, Treyarch have had 3 years to develop this game. And during the Black Ops Direct event, we got some sneak peeks into all 3 modes, and most importantly towards zombies. And while the actual segment was only about a minute long, there is still a lot of things around the zombies segment and inside of it that we didn't actually see the first time watching. First of which you would have seen was omnidirectional movement. This is essentially a complete movement rework. We're able to sprint in any direction, dive in any direction, mantling looks a lot smoother, and everything in general just looks a lot more streamlined. And this is a feature that will be ported over to zombies. Also revealed was the return of the traditional prestige system. This is something that everyone's wanted back for such a long time, so I'm glad they've brought it back. There's 10 prestiges all available at launch, so no more prestiges every season. They even went ahead and teased a reward for prestige master level 1000. Unfortunately, we don't know if it's going to be just multiplayer or just zombies. Hopefully there'll be something for both. We can also presume that leveling is going to be cross progression between multiplayer and zombies, as this was the case in Cold War and it hasn't been specified otherwise yet. But also announced to be making its return is the theater mode. It's definitely returning to multiplayer, unconfirmed if it's coming to zombies, but fingers crossed it will be. Anyway, let's take our deep dive into the zombies portion of the direct event. Again, only a minute long segment, but there's actually a lot we can dive into here, both inside and outside of the actual event. Starting us off first and most importantly, round-based is returning with 2 maps on launch. First of which is called Terminus Island, and this is the map that is showcased in the event. For those interested in the storyline, this follows directly on from the end of Forsaken, where Peck points to the island on the map. That is the current location of Requiem on Terminus Island, and Peck has launched a rescue operation. I mentioned this as this leads us straight into the next bit of big news, that being that a dedicated crew is finally coming back to zombies. We'll be playing as Weaver, Grey, Carver and Maya to escape Black Site 13. Now the other important thing about this is that operators can still be used in zombies. However, if you decide to play as the dedicated crew, you'll be noticing voice lines specific to story progression. Personally, I think this is the best way to go about it, as a lot of people have been wanting a dedicated crew back in zombies for a long time, but a lot of people have started to enjoy the operator system, and they simply decided to go with the best of both worlds, which I can't fault them for. This is good. Anyway, moving into the actual footage, the first thing we see actually isn't even part of the gameplay. Kevin Drew, who is basically the director of zombies, is narrating this segment, and in the background shot there's a few things we can see. The first of which is what appears to be a jar full of gobblegum. Now the gobblegum system is actually confirmed to be returning already. In the Vault Edition, if you pre-order, you get a pack of 12 of the highest variety gobblegums. It's unknown what gobblegums will return or will be featured, but so far it's rumoured that it'll be a mix of elixirs from Black Ops 4 and gobblegums from Black Ops 3, alongside obviously some new ones. Now there is a little bit of supporting evidence for this, as if we flip the video upside down, we can see the 2 books that the jar is stacked on say thanks for the feedback, and it's also a Black Ops 3 official guide. Now, one of the most important takeaways of the return of this system is that it's no longer pay to win, as you'll be able to earn gobblegums in game. Now, unfortunately, it's unconfirmed how we'll be able to earn them, but I'm going to presume that microtransactions will also run alongside them, so you can buy them if you wish. Again, that's unconfirmed, but it seems likely that that might be the case. The next thing we can spot in this background shot is the original 4 perk bottles. Of course, that's Juggernog, Speed Caller, Quick Revive, and Double Tap. We haven't seen Double Tap for a little while now, so possibly this could be teasing its return. Obviously, I take this with a pinch of salt, as it's not gameplay, it's not set in stone. There is also a chronorium next to it, which is the last of things to be spotted in here, which is just interesting. But already there's a couple of interesting things to unpack just from the initial shot. But moving into our first glimpse of actual zombies, the first thing we see is a heavier looking zombie. I don't know whether this is going to be a mini boss or just the new look for heavy zombies. Now in the back of this shot we can see what appears to be an ammo box. You can see the little green display at the top, similar to how it was in Cold War, so it looks like that's going to be returning. In the next shot, the first thing that sticks out is the Dark Ether arrows, which look to be returning to direct us to power. But the thing that's been causing the most speculation is this machine in the background. It's entirely possible that this is nothing, but based on how it looks like it could either be a perk machine or the new gobblegum machine. The next few shots give us some previews at smaller parts of the map, but this one's the next important one, as in the bottom right we can see some low grade salvage, so it looks like that whole system is going to be returning. Also on the stairs it looks like there's some sort of decoy grenade, and on the bottom left we can also see what looks to be another ammo box. Now this one's not as much of a surprise, but after the explosion we can see behind the gun what looks to be the glow of a power up, so it's good to see that they're coming back. The next shot reveals the heavily leaked cannon trap which is coming to the game, but before we actually see it set off, just looking through this massive horde, there's a lot of different variants of zombies, which is always nice to see. And then we'll also just take a moment to appreciate how cool this trap looks when it's set off. Then the last thing we see is our 4 members of the dedicated crew, and then a huge zoom out of the map. Now, there's nothing I actually seen during the zoom out of the map. If you did see anything, let me know down in the comments. Looking at this final zoom out shot of the map, this is considered to be the smaller map of the 2 that are supposed to be coming on launch, but but this is definitely not a small map by any means. Obviously we don't know what the playable areas are going to be like, but looking at where the zombies are on the zoom out shot, it looks like this is going to be a huge map. Let me know what you guys think, but personally I get a sort of DE feel for the structure of this map alongside a bit of Mob of the Dead and Zetsubo mixed in. And just off 15 seconds of cinematic footage of the map, it looks like this is going to be pretty good. They also throw in a little clip of the omnidirectional movement in action. I think this is going to be a positive addition to zombies and honestly just COD overall. Now the second round based map coming to Black Ops 6 at launch is called Liberty Falls. There's nothing revealed about this in the event, but at Treyarch's content creator briefing there was a screenshot revealed and Noah J reveals that the vibe was similar to a bus depot, or that of a small motel. Noah J also revealed that during this briefing, word for word, they said there'd be new metas and hours of quest lines. Now this is very exciting to hear as in my opinion we've lacked a good main quest in zombies for a very long time. We're also told at the end of the segment to expect more info soon. Now COD Next just got announced for August 28th and it'll be the worldwide showcase for multiplayer and more. So that seems like the most likely date we'll find out more about zombies, but obviously it's possible we may hear something sooner. But personally I can definitely say this is the most excited I've been for COD and specifically zombies in a very long time. Like we said at the start, this is the first 3-year development that Treyarch's had on a game for a very long time, and based on what we've seen there seems to be quite a lot to look forward to. Let me know down in the comments how you guys are feeling about this release, drop a like and subscribe and turn on notifications as we'll be covering all content coming up to and post launch, alongside a ton of other content you can already find on the channel if you're new around here. Anyway, that's all for now, I'll see you guys in the next video, peace out.